So it's proving to be a little bit more stubborn, but the puller isn't quite in the centre, so because he's just wrecking the bearing. Once that thing lets go, I haven't lost my chance then, really. It has started to move, so I can get the chisel behind it. I might change the orientation of the puller. Just see if I can get it with the puller first. Doesn't seem to want to budge. It must have come a little bit and jammed up crooked, so I'll just tap the chisel in there to wedge it out slowly. There you go. Bounce a bit, then I'll put some tension back on the puller. I'll be able to get it to pull enough so I can get the legs of the puller under the shoulder of the bearing. Right then, the end of this chisel is fat enough so I can hit it in quite a way before it's touching the shaft of the hub itself. I think the puller will nearly fit in there now. Not quite, maybe. I could go with a chisel and about 5mm anyway. If you want to pull as well off without the puller holding tension on it. Just go around like this. Don't really want to hit too much in any direction or too hard, really. Around every half turn, third of a turn. Whichever you prefer. Come enough now for the puller should fit underneath it now. Oh, not quite. Just holding the puller tight with my right hand, just twisting it like that so it's not falling off. Bearing's just being awkward, isn't it? Would be good if we had something to hold the legs of the puller closer together. There you go. Pulling. I didn't want it to pull so much that this bearing race came off and through all the rollers everywhere. It doesn't matter if it does that now. I think we've come far enough. No. Putting the chisel in and hitting it sideways just to shock it off now. It's got a bit of tension on it. Anyway, from the puller. We've got a big enough gap in there now so we can put the puller in there. We got the hooks of the puller underneath the bearing itself now, behind the back of it, so I can pull pretty happily there now. These hydraulic pullers are a fantastic tool. Yep. I don't know where I'd be without this. Oh, there's a blinking two holes there to hit them. Oh, threaded holes. Oh, what an idiot. Should have checked. Lots of things do have things like that. They have one way or another for you to get them off. If they don't have that, they do have that. There's lower. Look how much this is rusted in about an hour. Yeah, it's dried off now anyway. If this ring is knackered on them, you can, this ring separates from this one as well. They've got a big ring inside of there, like a snap ring, holding it together. So get that thing out, it would come off. So must be a joint in it somewhere. And keep the bearing with the race, don't mix them up. the right size. I like to put a bit of penetration fluid, they call it, and when I'm pressing bearings onto just to help them slide on, can't get much lighter lubrication in there really. There's no clearance between the front of the bearing there to use it to hit the other one down. Might damage the race of the new one. So I'll cut this race off and just use the central part of the bearing there. I took the race off of that one. Look how badly pitted that bearing is. It's on its way out anyway. It's terrible. I'll use that for hitting the new one on. If I had a press, I'd press it on. I don't have a press. Need to support this maybe. In case it's the ring is behind it, though, it'll be on steel, should be right. On closer inspection, this ring is knackered. It's terrible, isn't it? I'll see if I can take it off and have a look. I may be able to file those high spots off. I don't want them grinding against the gears. The gears shouldn't touch it when it's back together. You should really have it machined flat. I haven't got time for that. I'll see what I do. So we have a gap in the snap ring there, you see, so just lever it from between the teeth there around. Pull the ring out all the way around, and then these two bits should separate then. This middle bit comes up towards me. That's where I left my hat. Nice and cold for me this morning. It's about 5 o'clock this morning now. I'm gonna get this bloody thing finished. I didn't have time to finish it last night. I had some other stuff to do after doing the video, so I went and did that. I'll come back now. I'll have to leave again and then come back. I'll hopefully be finished by about midday. This had all the burring all the way around, so I ran around it with the 9-inch grinder with a cutting disc on it. Just really lightly went over it like that. It still had the machining marks on a ring around here, so it's still pretty much the same thickness as it was before, so it's not too bad. We've got some burrs inside here. They're pulling off from my finger, so I have to file them. I don't know if I can pull them off like that, alright. But I might tidy them up with the grinder. Just lightly go in like that, and the 9-inch grinder's a little bit big to do that with though. I'd like to have a little one that I can hold with one hand for doing this job. I don't want to leave any of this loose metal inside. It's the point of putting new bearings and doing a good job of everything else if you're leaving shards of metal to fly around in the hub for another couple of years. So I should probably get another one of these to put in it, but I need the tractor going. I need to feed the cattle. Been at it for a solid hour now and still not quite finished. You can see there's no burrs on the corners there now. It would have been alright as it was without sanding the burrs off, but those burrs would have broken off and gone around in the orbital in the end. It's better to get them off. If I was able to get one of these this morning, I wouldn't bother with this. I'd just put a new one in it. Or a good second-hand one. There is a place down the road. I say down the road, it's about 15 miles away. I could get one, but I need to go now. I've got about 10 teeth left to do on it. So an hour and 10 minutes I spent on doing that without stopping. It was getting a little bit tedious, but I'll be back here by about 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's 6:10 now, so see you in a minute. I am back now about 3 hours later, but bang on 3 hours actually. To the minute. I'll get that thing finished. I'll finish sanding that thing. I need to clear the shed up. It looks like a rat's nest. You can see there's a little bit of burring left to take off on these ones here. Camera's not focusing. Around there, about 10 grooves left. We've still got burrs on the outside of the teeth to do again, but I might do them with a file. There you go, I finished sanding and cleaning that up. I put the burrs that were on the top, on the flats there. It was burred up. I just polished them really lightly against the end of that, so you can still see the machining on the teeth there. So the teeth are still at the right size. These ones here would be the proper width as they're meant to be. These ones here are a little bit thinner. They've worn down a little bit. When it's in place, it's locked in the ring. It's not actually doing any walking. That should be a pretty good fit there now. You know, it's not moving. There's no play at all in it. So it should be alright. It'll be a tight fit in there. The height of the teeth like that, from there up to the shoulder, is the same because the machining mark's still on it. So this will still be bang on sitting in the centre of the I don't know what you call that, orbit. So it won't be off centre or anything because of what I've been doing to it here now. Should still be in the right place. A little bit of chewing on here as well from when it fell off, but no bearings or anything sit there, so there's only a bearing on the back here. The this thing here is still like new. There's no damage at all on this one. So as I'm saying, I'm only doing this fix like this now because I want to get the tractor back up and running. I can't get another one of these. I need the tractor going today now, so I'll put this in. I might order another one of these, see if I can get a second-hand one that's, well, tidy, good as new, and or a new one if they're not expensive. I should imagine that this would be expensive. I can't really see any reason why this thing won't do another 10,000-15,000 hours like that. I marked this before I took it off. I get it back in the right place. Finding the mark might not be so easy. I found the marks eventually, quite difficult to find. Those chisels aren't very hard, but this outer ring is much harder than this one. This stuff must be slightly softer. Must be what they decided to have as the part that goes if it's gonna go, I suppose. That thing's solid. Much stronger steel, that one. The ring. The hub itself will probably be a bit soft as well, but I'm not sure. I'd say that's soft as well. But this ring is solid. Probably build in the section that they want to have as the weakest point. There's the drop in now. I'll put the vernier calipers down off of here onto the step, just to check that it's not way off. You can see it's rocking in there a little bit. It's because it's worn. Oh, nearly better off holding it flat like that and welding it in the ring. But I'd need the and the ring then if that went wrong, so I'm going to do that. I'll put the retainer ring in and we'll see how she goes. This will be quite easy to change once it's on, but I'll need to change the bearing. But I know I can get the bearing off without damaging it with the little bolts in there now. If I needed to take this off again and redo it. You don't have to take the whole hub off, the knuckle as they call this. Just take the end plate off, and don't think I need to pull that off even. Do I? There's a bearing in there, but it's not going to stop this from coming off. That sits behind this. Now it wouldn't need to come off. Just take the front plate off of that, and then take the nut off, and take this out. One big problem with that is the nut. The nut will be reused then. I don't know. Does have a little bit of playing up and down. I'm not keen on that. I'll ring the there are a couple of New Holland places, as I said this morning, about 15 miles up the road. I'll ring them up to see if they have one in stock. It'd be worth me going to get it and putting a proper one in instead of this. Once the snap ring is in, it'll be pretty good, but it is out of tolerance. And it's not supposed to rock inside there like that. It's supposed to sit flat. These calipers aren't very good calipers. I got mechanical ones somewhere, but lost in the abyss of the rat's nest here somewhere. 33.44 there. 34.3 is mil off. 33.6 is halfway pretty much, isn't it? 33.38. Oh, 33.44. It's a bit difficult to use with two hands as well. It's easy for it to move. 34.38, yeah. Pretty much a mil off from one side to the other, so that's massively out of tolerance. And you can see how much it's moving inside there. I'm not happy to put that back together like that. It's way too bad. I wasted an hour and a half tidying that gear up, and massively out of spec, so I'll see if I can get one today somewhere. When it's on there and the gears are driving around and around, and it's not going to move much, but it will walk forwards and backwards like that a little bit as the thing's running. Especially in two-wheel drive. In four-wheel drive, if the tension is alright, it won't move much. And two-wheel drive will be rattling constantly. The prop shaft rattles enough without having internal components rattling in this thing. Seems to be recording upside down now. Why does everything I have record upside down? So there you go, that's about 0.2 mil up and down on this end here. You can see it moves, but it barely moves. When you can only just hear it like that, but you can't see it. It's pretty much 0.1 mil. That's a mil. Is terrible on that side. If I put it there and welded it on the other side, it would be alright there. Wouldn't be any problem. But, it would be better than having it rattling so much. Have to pull it up and have tension on it, and then weld it all the way. Weld it there, weld it there, weld it there, weld it there, then weld it here, there, and everywhere like that, going around. But I'm not going to do that. But if I was massively desperate and I couldn't find a part like this anywhere in the world, I'd probably have to weld it, but I'll have a look around first before ruining this outer ring as well. But I'm not going to weld it anyway. I'm just saying what you could do. But you have to weld it with that snap ring in place, so it'll lose its position. It'll be too far up or too far down, because the back of this gear here against this ring is still in its original specification, so that's as close to original specification as you could get, something like that. So if you welded it, you'd have to make sure that it was bang on in the centre and the slop of the gears like that as well. Yeah, the gears have a little bit of slop up and down. You'd have to have it bang on in the middle, where it was floating and not touching either end. Because these won't take up much slack, all these won't take up any now. They're nice and tight after I put new bearings in them. All back in the rat's nest now. I rang them up for 200 quid for another one of these, so it's not too bad. It's not worth, this outer ring is worth more than this. I did ask how much that was as well, in case it was cheaper for me just to weld this onto that, but I'm not keen on doing that.